Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
You know the phrase, once again it's song.
Right back at you, it's your man B. It's the End of the Bench podcast, as usual. Every 168 hours, we doing it like this. We gonna give you the week in sports. Hopefully, I get a couple of the chat room bench warmers in effect. We gonna have a little fun. It's a new platform. We gonna see how it goes. We got 120 minutes and possibly longer of entertainment for you. I'm gonna give you my point of view on what's going on in the sports world. There's a mouthful. You got the Big Three championship. You got Kobe saying he's staying out, thank God. You got the NCAA championships. You got a little disrespect in the community as usual. We know how that goes. It's always a little disrespect when it comes to our community. It's kind of sickening. Odell Beckham just got paid. What do y'all think about that? Did Odell Beckham deserve that money? Should the Giants be worried? Big question. Robert Griffin III, tomorrow night, is he playing for his football career? Think about how drastic of a change that is. Robert Griffin III could be potentially playing for his football life. You got Dez Bryant still on the bench. Is it a calculated move by the NFL because they know if they don't keep him on the bench, keep him at the crib until the season starts, he could act a fool? Is this fair on NFL's behalf? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Bama quarterbacking issue. Should Tua start? Should Hurts start? You got Ginobili retiring. You got the top 100 in the NFL. You got the Heisman Trophy watch. Games to watch. There's a whole lot going on, y'all. But what we're going to do is start this show right now and get it kicked off. And I'm going to start right back at the top. The Big Three championship. I'm going to go ahead and admit, your boy was late to the party. The Big Three thing, I support Ice Cube in anything hip-hop. If you've listened to me at all during this march or the End of the Bench, you understand that hip-hop flows through my blood. And I was late to the party. I was thinking, oh, man, I get to it. But the more I watched, the more entertained I was. Which brings me to the question at hand. This is the question. Should Ice Cube, I've been hearing grumblings about, hey man, NFL wants to team up with Cube, and they want to do this and they want to do that. Should Cube make a move like that? That's the question I want to ask people. You're looking at a situation to whereas Cube is extremely successful on his own. He don't need one partner or any more partners. The reason I say that is this. Every time people from our community blow something up, you have people from other culture or other cultures trying to grab hold to the product and then put ourselves in a situation to whereas we need these people. We don't need anybody. The Big Three is a success, and if you think Cube should do this, I think you're crazy. Keep this thing going along, Ice Cube, as long as you can. You've already partnered with Fox, which means you're on a major television network. If you don't think Fox is a major television network, you're looking at a team that has college football, professional baseball, and now the Big Three. They don't have NBA basketball, but they have NBA personalities. This puts them in a situation where as they are in the driver's seat, they are doing their thing. And at the end of the day, that's all you really need. You don't need a whole lot of partners telling you the image that you need to portray, and the players can't get physical and things of that nature. You don't need that, in my opinion. You're looking at such a situation to whereas Ice Cube is dominating the set. Ice Cube is putting himself in a situation to whereas he can be successful. So when you add too many cooks to the soup is not going to taste as good as it used to be. The Big Three was exciting. It was good to see players that still want to play, that you love, that you grew up watching, that you enjoy talking to them and seeing play. So if you ask me, Cube, don't sign up these people. it'll just ruin things. You know, now you got all these stipulations. I mean, it was a couple of situations to where as the fellas got a little, they start roughhousing and things like that. But all that shows is that these guys, even though they're past their NBA careers, they still love the game and they still want to participate at a high level. You're looking at a situation to where as you can see some quality. It's like going to the Rucker, but on TV. It's like going to the Rucker but seeing your favorite ball players. So if you can't grasp that concept, I don't understand what the problem is. Like I said, I was late to the party this season. I was like, oh yeah, it's good. I'm thinking they still working the kinks out. Well, by the time I started working, I was thoroughly entertained. And if you weren't, please, holler at me in the chat room bench warmers. That's what I call my chat room people. And you know what? Before I continue, I do want to welcome everybody from Spreaker as to the End of the Bench or bench warmers, End of the Bench families. I personally call them bench warmers. We are looking at a group of people who like to talk sports, they like to talk about the culture, and they like to talk about how athletics and hip hop intertwine with the culture and ultimately affects the culture. I'm open to a lot of things. I love other people's point of view, even though a lot of people might tell you to the contrary. But at the end of the day, I'm a debater. I love to talk. I love to get down. I like to swing and talk to whoever I'm gonna talk to. It's gonna be fun. And back to the story. Enough said about me. Now, like I was saying, man, the Big Three is a wild success. I'm wishing nothing for the best, but from Cube. And as you saw at the intro, I threw the Cube in there once again. It's on. The Big Three, I can't wait till it comes on. I would love to start talking to a lot of those guys because we are looking at a situation to whereas, will the Big Three ever be as big as the NBA? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I doubt the Big Three will ever be as big as the NBA. But we don't need it to be as big as the NBA. What we need to do is have something that was created by somebody from the culture, uplifting the community, giving a lot of brothers who would otherwise be trying to do something else an opportunity to get the rest of that basketball out your system. Now they become high profile people. You put them in a situation to whereas, hey, you never know, man. Maybe Q got a softball situation coming along next year. I don't know, a volleyball. I don't know what's going on. It's just a situation to whereas, as a culture, as a community, we don't need additional hands in the pot, so to speak. You look at this situation and be like, hey, we might be able to do something right here, So, shout out to Cube, man. Nothing but love. We're going to give Cube a round of applause and cheer him for a second excellent season with the Big Three. It's looking good. It's looking like it's going to get better. And holla at your boy. So, at the end of the day, man, I'm hearing rumblings. At the end, to segue, I'm hearing rumblings about the Big Three and the homie Kobe Bryant segueing into the Big Three or even making a return. Kobe Bryant shot that down, and as usual, mainstream media turned it into a situation to hating LeBron James. I personally don't understand. Well, I do understand, but what I don't understand is why we keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Look, Kobe said what he said. He's not coming back. There's no way in hell he's coming back. Point blank, period. People took that as a slight to LeBron because he didn't say LeBron's name. Look, people, don't buy into the nonsense. We are not going to fall. The banana is no longer in the tailpipe. The banana is no longer in the tailpipe. We are not going to be bothered with that foolishness. We're not going to participate in that. And if you do, please don't listen to the End of the Bench. I'm dead serious, man, because I'm not going to play that game with you. Please, it's not productive. It's not productive at all. We're in a situation to whereas, look, the man is moved on with his life. He got other things to talk about. He put himself in an excellent situation to be a participant in corporate America and other streams of entertainment. The man put $4 or $5 million into a project, and it has grossed him $250 million. Shout out to Kobe Bryant for doing his thing and realizing, and this is not a shot at the GOAT, not being like Michael Jordan. Once you walk away, walk away. And I don't care why you walked away the first time or why you walked away the second time. Like, this is the problem to me, that we always find ourselves in situations that we can't just walk away from the things that we're great from. I understand that we are in a situation to whereas athletics is a situation to whereas you can only do what you love to do 12, 15, and if you're extremely lucky, 20 years. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be only known as a guy who was very good at basketball. You are a marketing genius, Michael Jordan. You are a advertising giant. You are owner of a team, and I'm quite sure you have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of other endeavors. You know, in this case, superstars that are current and about to retire, currently retired, about to retire, and the guys who are playing currently, be like Kobe, man. Find something else to do. And with that being said, speaking of retiring, one of the NBA greats, Manu Ginobili, arguably the greatest sixth man in the history of the NBA, has finally hung him up. There are Spurs fans from coast to coast, from sea to sea, that are upset, and it is the dawning of a new era. Where would you rank Manu Ginobili in history? Is he a top 25 player? Is he a top 50 player? Is he a top whatever player? Where would you rank Manu Ginobili? Me personally, I think he's one, if not the greatest, and I'm kind of partial because as far as I'm concerned, the greatest sixth man in the history of the game is a guy by the name of Eddie Johnson, right here out of Chicago, Illinois, Chicago Western Vocational High School to be specific. Just happens to be one of the high schools I attended, the place I got my high school education from. So I'm going to be a little biased, openly biased with the homie Eddie Johnson, but I can't deny Manu Ginobili is retiring. He has retired, and he's gonna go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, sixth man in the history of the game. Offensively, he didn't play a whole lot of defense towards the end of his career. He played a lot of defense. He introduced the world to the Euro step. He put himself in a situation to whereas he'll never be forgotten. I think he's he's a four-time NBA champion. But the question is, where do you rank him? Should he be mentioned in the Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler conversation? See, y'all always leave out Clyde Drexler, which is disrespectful, wildly disrespectful. If you're gonna talk about two guys and you don't say Clyde Drexler, and you're foolish enough to say somebody like Reggie Miller, I'm gonna start questioning your basketball acumen. It's kind of insane if you ask me. But I am going to continue to look at it that way. You know, Ginobili was the boy, man. He was the man. Him and Tim Duncan, Tony Parker. Was Ginobili ever better than Tony Parker? Is another question I have for you. There's a question for you. Was Ginobili better than Tony Parker? But even though Ginobili is leaving, it's not the end of the Spurs train. I keep hearing the beginning of a new era. The Spurs are going to fall off. People, Ginobili was only playing like 16 minutes a game last year. Ginobili was an awesome ball player, but he was way past his prime. And this, again, I know we live in an uber-sensitive universe, so we always want to make this some type of, if you don't praise and laud over a player, you are not in love with them, you're not feeling them, you're not doing your thing. But at the end of the day, we're looking at a situation to whereas it's not the end of era. You still have arguably the greatest coach in the history of the NBA, which is Greg Popovich. If you disagree, please, I welcome it. And then you also have LaMarcus Aldridge. You got one of the best two guards in the a man out of Toronto. That's the homie Shannon Sharp, calling the baby dinosaurs, DeMar DeRozan. The Spurs are going to be all right. There's a couple guys on the Spurs bench that's secured their place in history. We're looking at a situation to whereas if you think the Spurs are going to fall off, you haven't been following basketball. If the Spurs don't fall off after losing Kawhi Leonard, you still make the playoffs after losing Kawhi Leonard. You damn sure not going to fall off after losing age Ginobili. This dude 40 years old. Hold on, I got somebody in the chat room. Manu was a better all-around player than Tony Parker. I agree with you, Angry Black Man. Angry Black Man, one of the dopest dudes on Spreaker, man. Holler at your boy if y'all in the chat room with him. Follow the homie, man. He got a great show. I listen to him on a regular basis. It's going to be dope messing with the homie Angry Black. So you do agree with me that Manu was a better all-around player than Tony Parker. Yes, I totally agree with that. It's a situation, though. What do you think, Angry Black? What do you think about the people saying that the Spurs are going to fall off after this? Where do the Spurs stand after this? because a lot of people are foolish enough to believe that the San Antonio Spurs, like I said, arguably one of the greatest coaches in the league history, one of the greatest coaching staffs presently. They are actually down there playing basketball. That's why a lot of y'all don't like the Spurs, because they actually playing basketball and they